Why isn't there a Labor Party? This is Dan McCrory, author of Capitalism Killed the Middle Class. Well, in the 1890s, both countries, Australia and the U.S., suffered from the worst depression of the 19th century, and a series of major industrial confrontations took place in which governments sided with employers and left the unions completely defeated. The idea of an American Labor Party has emerged at various times in our country's history and first formed formally in the aftermath of World War I, but its roots and the belief that workers should map their own destinies were planted in Europe and Australia in the late 1800s. In America, the Working Men's Party was established in 1876 with the goal of transforming society through the combined political and industrial action of the working class organized in industrial unions. Some machinations behind the scene of the 1894 American Federation of Labor Convention by FFL President Samuel Gompers sidelined the issue of a U.S. Labor Party, but the Australian Labor Party became an official political party in 1901, predating even the Labor Party in England. The ALP was also the first political party established in Australia. During the First World War, the prices of virtually every U.S.-made product rose while workers' wages stayed flat, yet crop prices were bringing farmers less and less. The Wilson administration frowned on labor's attempts in bargaining that brought on any form of labor dispute. They made it clear that they regarded any affront to business as usual as disloyal and un-American. Farmers and industrial workers found themselves on the same side in the ensuing recession and depression. They resented the sacrifices they had made for the war effort and blamed these hard economic times on business's failure to share in the sacrifices. Arthur C. Townley, a former organizer for the Socialist Party of America, formed the Nonpartisan League in North Dakota in 1915, who, on behalf of small farmers and merchants, advocated state control of mills, grain elevators, banks, and other farm-related industries in order to reduce the power of corporate political interests from Minneapolis and Chicago. The Union Labor Party was formed in Duluth, Minnesota in 1917. In 1918, the Minnesota arm of the Farmers Nonpartisan League merged with the Union Labor Party and the Workers Nonpartisan League to form the Farmer Labor Party of Minnesota. The organization promoted a platform of farmer labor union protections, government ownership of certain industries, and Social Security laws, and reached its apex in the 20s and 30s. Former Democratic presidential candidate Hubert H. Humphrey and former Minnesota Governor Elmer Benson were instrumental in having the organization absorbed into the Democratic Party in 1944. By August 1919, labor parties existed in 7 states. A convention to establish a national labor party was planned for November, and organizing efforts by unions in the other 41 states ensured that there would be labor parties in all 48 by the time the convention was convened. The convention adopted a challenging declaration of principles and a party constitution. The National Convention to start a national labor party had these principles included: complete equality for sexes and races, and into labor injunctions, cost of living reductions, nationalization of public utilities and natural resources, including railroads, free public education from kindergarten to university, and introduction of the powers of popular initiative, referendum, and recall at the federal level, dissolving the U.S. Senate, a maximum term of 4 years for federal judges, and more. The American Labor Party had published a manifesto entitled Labor and State Capitalism in 4 chapters in 1934. They declared themselves Marxists and predicted the destruction of the capitalist state by the capitalist class through World War, as Marx and Engels prophesied in their writings. The working class would be around to pick up the pieces. The last gasp of the American Labor Party came in June of 1935. Labor Party 1.0 was over, and Labor Party 1.5 was on the way.